Feel an Indian nation running strong and on the rise?
You won't step on the Navajo Nation.
Yeah.
They'll step on you.
Or will I find out that Native Americans are still stuck at the bottom of the socioeconomic totem pole? Is that part of the problem, is people give up?
Yeah, they give up big time.
Find out tonight on 30 Days. Over the years, there's been a lot of mixed messages about the American Indian. First, he was the violent savage in need of a taming from the white man. And then he was the proud spiritualist, trying to maintain balance and harmony with nature in the changing modern world. And nowadays, all we hear about is the Native American as the savvy suit, hitting the jackpot on cold, hard casino cash. Even if Native Americans are making a chunk of change from Indian gaming, maybe they deserve it. In just a few centuries, indigenous Americans were all but wiped out, and they eventually had to give up their native grounds to move onto reservations. The res was supposed to be a place where they could reestablish their culture and regain their balance with nature. But almost from the beginning, reservation life was plagued by poverty, alcoholism, and unemployment. The truth is, most reservations don't even have casinos, and Indians still remain the poorest Americans. So has the modern reservation become a cultural sanctuary or a neglected ghetto? I'll find out as I go native and rock the res for the next 30 days. If I'm going to live on an Indian reservation for the next 30 days, it might as well be the biggest one there is. So I'm heading west to the Navajo Nation. Giddy up, girl, come on. Whoa, here we go. Yeehaw! For the next 30 days, I'll have to follow these 3 rules. First, I'll move on to the reservation and become part of a typical Navajo family. Second, it's back to school as I learn the ins and outs of the Navajo language. And third, I'll be soaking up Navajo culture by taking part in tribal ceremonies. Old Buttercup wasn't going to make it all the way, so I traded her in for a pickup truck. And I'm nearing Gallup, New Mexico, the last trading post before entering the reservation. See, when I walk into a store like this, I see all this stuff, and the only thing I can imagine is that not one Navajo person has any of this in their house. This is all stuff that they make to sell to people like me. You know, like you see totem poles on the side of the roads, and it's like Indian trading. Like, that's been the extent of my interaction with any kind of Native Americans. And I think that that's probably true for most of us in America. So if I'm going to stay with the family, is there anything that I should bring for them as like a gift?
The oldest sheep you can get your hand on.
The oldest sheep I can get my hands on?
Yeah.
Somewhere I know there's an Indian who's completely offended right now. I'm getting ready to go live on the Navajo reservation for 30 days. And I was wanting to know what you think I could expect.
All you're going to see is poverty. I mean, people don't have no running water, electricity.
So we'll be receptive of me being there?
Don't go up there with this attitude like you can step on them. Trust me, you won't step on the Navajo Nation. They'll step on you.
So I'm looking for a sheep because somebody said that right up here there's a place with no idea where... Oh, sheep! Sheep right there. That was exciting. Which one's a good one?
I tell you the truth, the one that I would take if I were going to reservation the first time, that's a nice big one.
So that's a good one.
That's the one I would take. For $100, you ain't going to beat it, bro.
All right, I'll go for the big one.
Go for the meat, baby.
I'm going to go for the meat. I'm going to name her Lunch.
It's a heavy sign.
All right, Lunch, let's go. I think that's a good name, Lunch. It's good. Keeps me from getting too attached. Here I am. Welcome to the Navajo Nation. Look at that sign. It's like the hip-hop nation. I have no idea what to expect. I have very little knowledge about Native American spiritual beliefs, the way of life, the languages, everything. And I hope that just in a little bit of time that I'm here, that I'm able to connect with them in some way. About 200,000 Navajo are spread out over their 17 million acre reservation in Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah. Many of the people are isolated and live in remote areas. In fact, the biggest city on the res only has 10,000 people. So we're here at the Navajo Nation Rodeo and Fair, and I'm supposed to meet the family I'm staying with here. Apparently they rodeo. For the next 30 days, I'll be living with the Dennisons, a family of Navajos all born and raised on the reservation. Mom Deborah has her PhD and is the only female Navajo public school superintendent. Dad Carl was a rodeo man, and he now manages a school gymnasium.
Kyle Dennison, one of our favorite cowboys.
Their 25-year-old son Kyle is a rodeo champ, and 15-year-old daughter Cassidy is hoping to follow in her big brother's footsteps. Deborah? Hi, I'm Morgan.
Hi.
How are you?
This is my husband.
Carl Dennison? Carl, pleasure to meet you, sir.
Our new son.
Oh, that's a cool belt buckle. You won last year?
Last year, I won the rodeo.
Oh, no way. You know, I had no clue that rodeoing was such a big part of a lot of Native American culture. And for me to see all these kind of Native American cowboys was something I didn't expect. So should I just follow you guys?
Yeah, we'll be in this car.
Okay. All right. I caught the family at the tail end of today's competition, so it's back in the truck and off to my new home on the res.
Hey, Morgan.
How are you?
All right.
I come bearing gifts.
Yeah, come on over.
Here, you gotta help me get your other gift out of the back. That's for you too.
Oh, wow. That's neat. Come on in. These are all my family here. My mom over here. Oh, good.
She said good?
Yeah.
The Dennisons' whole family basically had turned out to welcome me. And as part of this, they were going to have a ceremony for me in what's called a hogan, which, you know, Carl said is a traditional Navajo structure that people used to live in, but today is pretty much just used for ceremonial purposes.
That's A. We have a guest.
The interesting thing for me is for one of the first times in my life, I'm going to be really pushed into an environment where I'm the minority, where I'm the odd man out.
What brought you out here?
Well, for me, everything that I've learned about Native American culture, I learned in elementary school and from books, and I feel like that a lot of people in America are very ignorant, myself included. So I wanted to really try to understand what it means to be a Native American in the United States today. I think they want to kind of get an understanding of who you are. You know, what are you about? That stems from centuries of being taken advantage of. But they're like, why are you here? What are you doing? What do you want from us?
We hope that you get an understanding of the Navajo people living in modern society. We do live in two worlds, and we strive in our family to maintain a traditional home setting because it's being lost all across, not just Navajo, but across the whole Indian nation. We're losing our culture and our ways of living.
I'm not a medicine man or anything like that, but I'm just a little prayer for you. Just your heart and your mind, so you can have a clear mind and make yourself feel good. Yeah.
She said that this is our way of life, this is our way of blessing anybody that comes to the house here. She said that we'll work together, we'll help each other, we'll teach each other for the time that you're going to be here.
You know, Debbie said they're trying to live in two worlds, a traditional world and this modern Western world, and I'm anxious to see how you do that. You know, I think that they're going to try and give me at least a sense of that tradition by having me live here in the hogan, which it's going to be an experience. I'll be sleeping here in a hogan that has no heat. It's got no electricity, no running water. Basically, I'll have to take a bath in a bowl. About 7 inches from my head is a black widow spider. There it goes. Oh, I got it. It's going to be me and a bunch of critters. This is not going to be easy. After freezing my butt off in the hogan all night, my first morning on the reservation starts with Carl waking me up at 6 a.m. for a run.
Ready, Morgan?
Yes, sir.
Come on. Hold on.
He and I are running towards the sun, which he tells me is a Navajo tradition that's supposed to bring success to me and my family.
Oh, man. For now, you touch that Mother Earth like this, and then put your hand way up there.
His whole thing is that sun is life. You put your hands up to the sun, and you take in life, and you take it in all over your body.
Be really positive what you're trying to do here. You think about that and pray for your family back home. Okay, ready?
It's not about exercise so much for the Navajo. It's much more about setting your intentions for the day and saying, here's what I hope to achieve, and that's what I'm really going to try and focus on, rather than how terrible I'm feeling at 5 in the morning. Carl's got an extra pair of hands to help him on the family's ranch, and it looks like he's going to put them to good use.
You help your grandma out a lot?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
but I'm always doing something.
I'm doing rodeo or something?
Yeah.
When the Dennison's son Kyle isn't training or competing in the rodeo, he's here pitching in. Are there a lot of jobs on the reservation?
No.
No?
I mean, my mom has to drive like over an hour to go to her job, you know, and she's very highly educated, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just hard, you know, it's just,
So just not a lot of opportunity?
no.
It's day 4, and if the lack of opportunities here are affecting a family like the Dennisons, who are doing pretty well, I wonder how hard it's going to be for me to find work on the res. So I head to the nearest town to look for a job. Hey, how are you? Good. Are you guys hiring anybody right now?
No.
No. Are you guys looking for any help right now?
No.
I wonder if you guys have any jobs available.
Not at this time.
Is it hard to find work around here?
Yeah, I would say in this town because we don't make very much money. There's too many intoxicated people, drugs, so it's really hard. We barely make ends meet.
Here's faculty, high school, and of course, driver. There's only 25 job listings for the entire reservation. That's 25 jobs for almost 200,000 people. Compare that to nearby Lubbock, Texas. They have the same population, but their local paper has hundreds of job listings. I have no idea how a lot of these people can get by with so few jobs around. Maybe someone at the Navajo Employment Office has some answers.
How can I help you today?
And I thought maybe you could help me, or maybe you could tell me why there aren't any jobs around.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really a complicated process here on the reservation to try to get at least to start a business. We don't have that many industries. We don't have that many employers. The Navajo reservation has a high unemployment of over 60%.
The struggling Navajo economy relies heavily on federal funds, which have been decreasing for years, and they're really feeling the pinch. In the 80s, the U.S. government allowed sovereign Indian nations to build casinos, but many Navajo objected because it conflicted with their cultural beliefs. Now they've realized a casino might be just what they need to turn the economy around, and they're set to start building one in 2008. I got lucky and spotted a job opening for a tire technician. I don't know the first thing about tires, but on the res, I'll take what I can get.
Hola.
Hey, how are you? I was coming about the job posting.
Oh, okay. I'm a new shop. Looking for employees. We've been open 6 months now, but I am looking for somebody to go to work as soon as possible. You know,
Okay.
Available anytime during the week.
Available anytime, yeah, starting available immediately. So what will the salary be, or what would it?
What we do on contract is usually starts out at like 25 per day.
Okay.
You know, it's weird how it works out here. Is just that there's no economy. I can't actually afford the hourly wage.
You know, if you're paying rent and you got to eat and you got a car, dude, $25 a day is not cutting that. But Robert offered me the job, and I don't know where I'll find another one on the reservation, so I guess I'm going to be the tire guy. Okay. I am officially no-name man.
They're going to be surprised, people coming in. We don't get too many white people working around here. Ever since '99, I've been asking, where can I have a business?
Why did it take so long to get the building?
The tribe. They tell you to come back, take care of your people, but there's just no place to do it. Everything around is all grazing land. It's not for business sites.
Is that part of the problem, is people give up?
Yeah, they give up big time. A lot of the guys I know are out on the road. It's construction.
Really?
California, Las Vegas, Texas. They send money back, take care of their families.
It's almost like the Mexican families who come over to the United States and work and they send money home.
Yeah, exact same thing, but we live here, you know. We're in the right country already.
Yeah.
So.
It's day 5, so I'm going to head down the road to see what's cooking at Grandma's. Grandma! Eat? Time to eat? Oh. Talk about one of just the most wonderful people. It's like, I can't even understand what she's saying, you know, but all I want to do all the time, I just want to go hug her.
Potatoes.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Grandma, this is so nice. Thank you very much for lunch.
Yeah.
The best tortilla. Grandma, I want to learn how to make this before I leave.
If you can learn how to cook it like that, it's like Grandma's touch, you know?
I'm gonna learn Grandma's touch.
Yeah.
So, Grandma, what's the tortilla called?
Ba.
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 This is like bread.
What is this?
Azerichi.
Azerichi.
Azerichi?
No, it's not like a Mexican, like, you know.
Azerichi. This is a hard language.
It is. It's really tough. I don't even know. You know, I've lived here forever.
You lived here your whole life and you can't speak it. How am I gonna learn it in 30 days?
No.
No. It's day Hasta'a, and as part of my 30 days experience, I'm trying to learn the nuances of the Navajo language.
Pronounce the following words out loud. You probably have heard that Navajo is a very difficult, almost impossible language to pronounce.
My Navajo is so terrible. It's absolutely awful. I'm trying to practice, but it's impossible. Hi, how are you? I'm Morgan. If butchering the Navajo language weren't enough, some of the Dennison's relatives show up to butcher my sheep lunch, who's about to become dinner. When I bought the sheep for the Dennisons, I thought that at some point, you know, they'd cook him up, but I didn't think it'd be like my job. Sorry, sheep.
Okay, get him down, Morgan. Put him down right there. Now, when you're going to go butcher, you cut the throat to the east.
Okay.
Good things come from the east with the sun.
Okay.
So...
This is something that's passed down generation to generation to generation. You know, every Navajo woman learns how to do this. It's so weird. It's so warm. It really freaks you out.
You got another job for you.
Okay.
This is the stomach. You take this, squeeze all this out. And I want you to go dump this for me. Grab it from the inside now.
Oh my God, dude. Look at that. That is some funky. Ugh. That is foul.
Woo! Does that look clean?
Look at that.
Look at that.
Okay, let's see.
I can honestly say that's the first
You know what? I
time I've
have
ever washed a stomach.
I tell you, when that's fixed right, it's a delicious thing.
I was just thinking that as I was washing it off, how
Yeah.
delicious that must be. So I'm going to feed the fire and say thank you, Grandpa Fire, for cooking our food.
Right. So when you prepare food for your family on an open fire like that, actually coming from the sacred element of the fire, like that, it stabilizes your family, it stabilizes the mind of your children. Do you want some stew?
Yes, please. As an American, I really have no connection to past traditions. It's almost like we've gotten swept up in this modern world and everything else has been left behind. And here's this place where there's such limited opportunities and the economy is a mess, but the traditions and the culture are still so alive. You know, and I just wonder, why can't we have both? You know, why can't you move forward in this world and still have this heritage, these values that make us who we are?
I beat the sun today, see? Not even up yet.
It's my 10th day living on the Navajo Nation, and I'm really starting to get a feel for the rhythm of life here. When I get up in the morning, I'm ecstatic to walk outside and see the sun coming up. Even though I got to go out to the barn and shovel caca, there's definitely some sort of a connection that you start to feel with the land here. After a good morning's work, I have only a bowl of water to clean myself up. I'll be doing this for 20 more days, but there are 80,000 people on the Navajo Nation who live without running water every day. Even though the Navajo have billions of gallons of fresh water flowing right through the reservation, Uncle Sam never gave them the rights to most of it. And to make matters worse, their H2O ends up watering desert cities in Arizona and Nevada. Those without running water have to take matters into their own hands. They drive to the nearest public well to collect as much water as they can.
See how much we get out of here.
And Navajo Nation Councilman Larry Noble is showing me how it's done.
In the summer, these wells tend to dry, and people will race here every morning.
Like first one out.
Yes, first come, first serve kind of deal. They have to make it last. The water would be gone. Now this is a little windmill. I mean, this is...
The Navajo Nation is trying to get water to their people, but to get it done, there's just too much red tape to go through, and it's just too expensive. Larry's collected this tank for a friend named Darwin, who's been living without running water for decades.
This water is only for washing, clean up, and then that tank right there is I use it for the drinking water.
So you have to go get water every 2 days?
Every 2 days, yeah.
Man. The average water hauler uses just 10 to 15 gallons a day, while the average resident of nearby Phoenix uses 10 times that. So why do some people on the Navajo Nation not have water?
A lot of the process that we have to go through is a requirement by the federal government.
But why do you have to get the approval of the federal government if you're a sovereign nation?
That's the whole thing. Through the Treaty of 1868, some of the obligations that the United States government is supposed to have to get the water lines where it's needed.
Right.
And power lines the same way. Education is the same way. But we're not getting it. We are not getting it from the federal government, period.
You know, when the treaties were signed, the United States government accepted responsibility for them, that they would have the basic necessities to survive. And, you know, we're giving these reservations millions and millions of dollars, but it just seems like there's really no guidance in terms of where this money should be going, or how it's being used to build infrastructure. I mean, should anyone in America be without running water? Isn't that a basic need for people? I'm not stopping until I get it one time.
Okay, here's the basics of a rope. This is your elbow. Should be kind of up like that.
Raised on a working ranch, the Dennison kids were practically born with a rope in their hands.
There's a loop.
Oh, come on! I hate this game.
Follow through, okay? There you go, make your rope bigger. You're gonna be a cowboy pretty soon.
That's right. Scott, how many more years do you think you can rodeo?
I don't know. Guy can only go for so long, you know?
Yeah.
Just depends on the luck, I guess.
Right.
So I've got to win to keep going. But if I lose, you know, I gotta go get like a job or something.
Are you gonna go get a job?
More than likely.
You know, after spending some time with Kyle, I just get a sense that there's things that root him to this place and the reservation, his family, the rodeo, the things that he loves. But I think the reality for Kyle is it's really starting to set in that he may have to leave the reservation to go find a job because there's not a lot of opportunities for people here. You know, either you're successful in the rodeo or you find some real menial job or you leave. All right, I quit. Are you just gonna exercise it a little bit?
Yeah, go up that way.
What do you want for Kyle and Cassie?
Get a good education and then be successful in the rodeo.
Why do you love it so much?
It's just a family thing. It's the way I grew up, and get my kids out of drugs and alcohol and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
You know, alcohol is really a bad thing, and it's everywhere. And during my days, I think that was our downfall.
You or other Navajo?
Me and my brothers. We were just as good as anybody else in the pro circuit, but our downfall was drinking.
Carl's just one in a long line of Native Americans who've had battles with the bottle. Liquor wasn't even on the Indians' radar until the white man brought it here. And over the next few centuries, booze seeped so deeply into the Indian way of life that some believed alcoholism might even be in their DNA. But that's never been proven, and experts say there are so many other factors at play here.
The American Indians may be very isolated on their reservation. There's a lot of unemployment. There's a lot of stress due to all of that. And then the high rates of alcoholism contributes to the high crime rates that we see.
Since the beginning of the Navajo Nation, it's been illegal to drink or even possess alcohol here. Yet more than half the crimes on the res are alcohol-related. I'm Morgan. Tonight, I'm going to hit the streets with Officer Gilbert Yazzie to see how the Navajo Nation's police department is dealing with the problem.
Okay.
Let's hit it.
Got a disturbance up here.
So what happened?
There's a guy intoxicated. One of our regulars disturbing again.
How many regulars do you guys have?
We got a lot. How much you had to drink? 640s. 640s? Yeah.
So what will happen to him?
We'll spend 8 hours in jail. Release when he sobers.
You got anything to drink?
No, just some beers. Just a couple beers, huh? Fall right here.
Do you find a lot of kids like this?
A lot of the kids are coming from broken homes, or their parents are still together, but the dad has to leave, go work out in Phoenix or wherever just to make enough money to support his family.
So what's going to happen to these guys? Will they be charged with anything?
No.
The only ones that tribe will be willing to send off to treatment are the ones that are asking for it. Can't force these guys to go to rehab.
Recently, the Navajo have found that some alcohol abusers have benefited from treatment that helps them reconnect with their culture. But the real challenge is solving the problems that drive people to drink in the first place. Nobody can get jobs. These people can't own their property. It's almost impossible to start a business here. It would make sense to me that if you started giving people opportunities, the bottle suddenly wouldn't be so attractive.
Direct West Rio.
Ow, that's hot. I'm into my third week living on a reservation, and today I'm back at the tire shop getting my hands dirty. This came off the truck?
Yeah.
And she wants us to patch that? When I first started working at the tire shop, I didn't expect the guys who work there to kind of approach their jobs the way that they do. I think there's a tremendous sense of pride in these guys that they're actually working at a Navajo-owned business that's actually succeeding on the reservation.
I like it here. I was working in Vegas. It was fun, but after a while I was like, I guess growing up here, I was like, I gotta get back home.
Right.
They say in traditional in Navajo way that you don't really have a full life when you're outside of the 4 sacred mountains. You hear a lot of Native, especially younger people, I can't wait to get out of here, I can't wait to leave. But there's a reason why they call it home.
Yeah.
Like my dad used to say, learn from the white man, come back to help your own.
The thing I want to try to understand is what it is that keeps people coming back to a place where there's no work, very little opportunity. Why do they want to stay? What is it that kind of grounds them in this place? Boss man?
Good day.
Thank you, man. Hey, Grandma. Hey, how are you?
My name is Elsa, and I'm helping Grandma today.
Oh, great. I'm helping Grandma, too. Grandma's been putting me to work.
She's going to show you how to make tortillas.
Oh, good. See, that was the deal. I got you some wood. Now you got to show me how to do this.
Yeah.
That much? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
No.
Okay, just work it like that? Is that good or no?
She said, you're doing a good job.
Okay. So flatten out the edges
She
like
said,
that.
if you forget how to make the tortillas, she said, send for me and I'll come show you again.
There's people that you meet in your life that the minute that you come into contact with them, that you connect with them, you like them. And for me, it was Grandma. Who taught you how to do this?
Her
Grandma and mother.
Yeah.
She said she's not able to communicate that well with her grandchildren because they primarily speak English, and so it's difficult to pass down the teachings, and she thinks that's the cause of all of our problems with the youth.
And I can't even imagine how hard it is for Grandma. I mean, her language and her culture is pretty much vanishing. It's gotta hurt. I want to be able to say something to her, you know, before I leave. I'd love for her to at least see that I'm trying, which I think means everything. It's day 21, and I've been trying to learn the Navajo language for more than 2 tongue-tied weeks. And let's face it, I'm not getting anywhere. Marilyn?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Morgan. So it's time for a language lesson from Marilyn Begay, a teacher at a language immersion school where students speak nothing but Navajo in the classroom.
Let's count from 0 to 10.
Okay.
Asai.
Ta'alai?
Asai.
Ta'alai?
Asai.
I won't count past 10 the rest of the month.
Yeah, let's stop there. This is si. Yeah.
How many other people are learning the Navajo language, like young kids?
The elementary kids have Navajo language and culture once or twice a week for 30 minutes.
So is it disappearing, the language?
It is very fast.
Yeah.
In 1979, they had like 80% students speaking Navajo. 10 years later, 5%.
How'd that happen?
There's just too much English influence to really be effective in keeping your language.
What will happen if the language goes away?
We will not be unique people. We will have no culture. We will have no prayers. It's a scary thing for me to think about and talk about.
Yeah.
That my kids won't be able, my grandkids won't be able to say, I'm Dine, and I can speak my language. And it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But I have hope. We have hope to continue to, revitalize the language and to maintain it. And it's our job as elders to do that. Yeah. Okay. Let's say DJ today.
You know, this isn't just a part of their culture. It's a part of our culture as Americans. There are people who were here long before we were, and we have no idea what their cultures meant or how they connected to where we live now and what certain things mean. You know, now it's just they're the names of cities, they're the names of mountains, they're the names of lakes. And I think we've lost a big connection to our home.
Do you practice a lot of the traditional beliefs and ceremonies?
Yeah, we all do. You never do anything without prayer.
And all the people that I talk to, there's this incredible spiritual side to the Navajo. Or what's something that I could do to kind of dive deeper into those cultural studies or into the spirituality?
I think just the run in the morning. I had one medicine man tell me, all you have to do is go out and touch the ground, touch the earth. And
What do medicine men do?
there's some that will diagnose what's wrong with you, or they can pray for you and bring you in harmony with yourself and with the environment. There's one that I would probably recommend to you.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Great. Well, thank you.
Deborah set me up with a medicine man named Dr. Yazi, who's going to perform a sweat ceremony to purify my body and mind.
How many people are there left like you? How many medicine men are there?
I would say there's very few.
What's the purpose of a sweat? What does it do?
It cleans you out, inside out. Sometimes a patient can't stop vomiting.
It's gonna be kind of scary. I'm a little nervous. I don't know what to expect.
Now take, So in the eyes of the gods, I'm blessing you. Now follow me. I hope you're wearing a trunk.
I'm wearing a trunk?
You need to strip.
Okay.
He starts his ceremony where basically I strip down and I'm drinking this stuff that just smells and tastes terrible.
On your whole body. Okay, now run around the fire and go in 4 times. Don't stay in there too long if it's too hot.
Okay.
You go inside and it's very dark and very hot. You know, the stuff that he gives you helps you purge your system, and so I'm sweating and you're sweating, and I felt terrible.
I saw white lights, white streaks, black ones.
If you had a vision that shows that somewhere in your life, some evil influence may have effect on your body, on your mind,
Over the course of, it had to have been at least an hour, I felt things and experienced things and saw things that I just don't know. I can't explain. It was almost as if I felt things being yanked out of inside of me. It was like I came out, I felt like a different person. Felt like I was coming into a world to relearn things all over again. I feel more calm right now than I have in a really long time. I feel like I'm really here. I feel really present. I really think Native Americans are in tune to something that a lot of us have lost. And it's a connection to the earth, it's this connection just to our own existence, it's a connection to life. And I believe that, especially after today, I really believe it.
It's day 24, and today I'm heading out to the Northern Navajo Fair to see Kyle compete in the last big rodeo of the summer. If he doesn't take home some prize money today, it could mean trading his life on the family ranch for a job in a city off the res.
Come on, Kyle.
We go to the next cowboy. No strangers to this event.
Here we go.
Kyle Dennison.
Kyle's finally up, and I get to help him by pushing the steer out of the gate.
Come
on, Kyle!
My goodness.
Oh, they got away from him.
Will be no time for Kyle Dennison.
That's a bummer. That was it. This was Kyle's only run. Luck of the draw. You know, Kyle said you got to be good and you got to be lucky. So it's a bummer, man. I feel bad for him.
This didn't feel smooth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just messed up, man.
Yeah. You know, he's got the skills and he's got an incredible amount of talent, but he's 25 years old. The chances of him kind of being a top tier rodeo guy aren't as likely.
Can't always win, you know.
Yeah.
Like rodeos, there's a lot of luck involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, the season's almost over, boss.
What will you do in the winter then?
I have to work. Guaranteed. This year is going to be different. I'm going to have to get a job. A real job.
Yeah. The thing I start to wonder is how would something like that affect the immediate family here? As much as they would want, I think, Kyle, to go out there and, you know, start his life, I think the idea of him leaving and not being around would be a really hard thing.
It's just difficult because Navajo people are so close-knit, families, extended family, and it's so difficult to find a job here. You experienced it yourself, and a lot of them don't come back because of the job opportunities that are out there in the world, but the Western society is so fragmented. It's just so broken as far as relationships, respect for the land, and when I came back from New York my first time, I was just like, I wanted to actually pick up the dirt and eat it, or some kind of feeling that you get.
Kyle, what are you going to do?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Are you going to stick around?
No, I'm going to go to my auntie. We put a resume in just now, so we'll see what we can do with that.
Where'd you put a resume in?
In Tucson. I think it's time for me to get on the road.
It's day 25, and before my journey comes to an end, I'm visiting Maryland's Immersion School, where the next generation of Navajo prepare for the future by staying true to their past. During their first 2 years here, students speak all Navajo all the time.
We add 10% English in second grade.
Okay.
Then third grade is 40, and then the rest is 50-50.
So how do the kids do here?
They do very well. We just got results. We were at the very top in math and reading.
You test higher than all those other schools. That's incredible.
Let's go in. You can try out your Navajo here.
Yate? Morgan Yanalie? Ashish. Like most of us, my ancestors came from all over the world. But as I look around this place, I just realize that these are the only people in the United States who aren't immigrants. This has always been their home. My time here has shown me that the reservation is a really complicated place where there are no easy answers. And I've seen things here that remind me of a third world country. Okay. But at the same time,
I've seen a people who are so proudly trying to hang on to all these traditions and this heritage that is so important to them, and which was here long before any of us.
Hey, Morgan, 20, 40, 60, 75, tax-free.
Woohoo! 75 big ones. And I am going to spend that all in one place.
You know, I mean, I hope more than anything that they're able to succeed and they're able to find a way for both of those worlds to continue to coexist.
Thanks, man.
Okay,
Awesome.
appreciate it again.
Thank you.
That's their American dream. My Navajo journey started in the Denison's Hogan, and tonight, that's where it will end.
I seen you take off at 5 o'clock in the morning. which
On
is
your
good.
own.
On your own. I don't have to, hey Morgan, wake up.
Knock on the door.
Yeah.
I want to thank all of you for opening your home, your heart, and your lives to me. I've only begun to understand such a greater connection to this world that we live in, and hopefully a lot of the things that you guys gave to me I'll be able to take with me, from the morning run to a lot of the realizations that I came out of the sweat lodge with. I feel like this experience has changed me, and I'm very proud and thankful to have gotten to be here. And the grandma, Shima, Nitsado I hula, Nahadza, Na Halingo, Nanina.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, Kunde. Village and Natasha.
Thank you.
Oh no. You know what?
So glad to have had you here.
Big Daddy.
You know what?
Thank you.
I didn't think I'd be this sad to be leaving. But, this place and these people just really affected me.
I think that the greatest things that I've taken away from this experience are the need to be present in your life. We've become so overwhelmed by everything that we've become disconnected to our lives. And the biggest thing I want to do is have that connection come back in my life. There's more to these people than we can even understand, and I think that we have to, as a nation, start to embrace that again. I feel like we've let them down, as a people. This whole idea of kind of cordoning them off and forgetting about them is just not something we can do. They are a part of our culture as Americans. They're a part of our heritage as Americans, and we can't just, write them off as not being important and thinking that just casinos are going to fix everything. I think that we owe it to them to do that.